What's going on YouTube? Omega V here with you, bringing you my week 2 matchup against Fudgy, aka TheFlyingBird, and his new South Wailmers. I think that's his team name. Sorry, it's a little late again when I'm recording this, but gotta do what you gotta do, right? So, yeah, this week, as you can see here, I did bring my Zapdos, Mimikyu, Kartana, Regice, Mega Blastoise, and Arcanine, and he ended up bringing his Como, Shaman, Lando T, Slowking, Xurkitree, and Mega Scizor. So most of the stuff I expected him to bring, I didn't really expect to see Shaman here. I mean, not Shaman. Actually, yeah, Shaman and Slowking were two that I didn't really expect to see. The rest I kind of expected on there, but yeah, let's go ahead and get started with this matchup. So yeah, this week, we'll get to it. So I do start off with Hamon, my Zapdos. Figured might as well go for it and get out either some damage or something else on here, but he lets out with Como, so I decided to start off with a Discharge here. I did switch up some movesets between now and the team builder. There's a couple things that I couldn't figure out when getting the Mons ready, so yeah. He did go for the Toxic there, which kind of sucks, but not really, and I didn't get the Paras, unfortunately, so I do see that he's leftovers here, so I don't have to worry about something else on it. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for another Discharge and try to get the Para on this thing, so yeah, you can see without the crit it really does nothing on here, so it did get paralyzed this time, which is good for me, but he got the Stealth Rocks up, which is not something I really wanted to be seeing. It's kind of wanted to get rid of them. I did put Defog on this thing, but I really should have taken out the Scarf. There was really no point in Scarfing this thing. I don't know why I was just doing this. I hate playing with Scarfs, but yeah, you can see that the Rocks do a crap ton of damage to Regice now. Not really what I want to happen there, so yeah, luckily he did get paralyzed here, and I just went for the Icy Wind. Figured at worst I'll be able to outspeed it next turn, so it didn't kill, and unfortunately it didn't kill, so that I really wish I had right there. It would have been better for me, but you know, yeah, he does withdraw here, and he goes out into Babe, the Slowking there. I went for another Icy Wind. Should have expected the switch out, honestly. That's my bad, but I honestly thought he was going to stay in Toxic this Regice. Like, that was my entire thinking behind it. So I went for a Thunderbolt here to try to see how much it does, and that was not anywhere near where I wanted to see on this, so that really just, yeah, it puts me in a tough spot. But this one I just kind of have to keep Thunderbolting it, and there's not much else I can do, so he's gonna go for the Psyshock here, and does a decent amount of damage to me, and he is gonna withdraw obviously to get the Regenerator. He doesn't want that thing going down, and I don't really blame him on it, so go for the Thunderbolt against the Scizor. It does a decent amount, so yep, Future Sight's gonna do not very much. Like the Psyshock did definitely a lot more, so he does stay in, and unfortunately he is gonna knock out Trishula here. It's, yeah, there's, once it got to below that point I was just like, you know, there's not really any point where I should switch, but I don't know if that crit mattered or not, honestly. Like, I think it did. I think I probably would have lived it and gotten an attack off, so that just really sucks. Like, honestly, if like losing Regice like that to a crit, but here I really had no choice but to go into Uriah. Yeah, there was no, he did go for a Protect here, just kind of scoping out what I would do here, as I went for the Flare Blitz, and yeah, this is kind of where stuff starts to go a little bad for me here. So I'm already down 1 Mon. He does withdraw, expecting another Flare Blitz, which clearly I am really predictable right now, so I went for the Flare Blitz because I figured why not, and it did quite a bit of damage for not being super effective. So yeah, I was right here. I was just like, okay, well, I'm in a decent spot, I guess, but of course he's gonna withdraw it again because he's I feel like he was expecting me to have the Wild Charge this week. So yeah, I went for the Wild Charge here, and yeah, it didn't affect it. So that just puts me in a bad spot overall. So here I do make a decent play. I do switch out and go into Hamon again. I kind of figured he might go for an Earth type attack just to try to get rid of the Arcanine, especially since I hadn't been switching out. So that part worked out a little bit for me, but here I am gonna sacrifice Hamon, and I am just gonna go for the Defog on here. Yeah, I honestly right now, like, I really wish this thing wasn't scarfed. Like this, if I hadn't scarfed it, it would have been in a much better place for me. I think judging from the fact that he switched out, his Lando might have been scarfed on there, so I'm not 100% sure, but I'm mostly sure that it was a scarf Lando on there. So yeah, now with the Rocks gone, I feel pretty good. Luckily I avoided a Seed Flare there, so that was fairly lucky of me. Knockoff didn't do as much as I hoped, and obviously Earth Power is going to do quite a bit of damage, so surprisingly not down to the 1, and here I did just go for the Smart Strike. Figured get some extra damage off, and wasn't enough to kill this thing, so that kind of sucks. So yeah, I lost another Mon there, and I'm just gonna go back into Hamon and get some damage off, or try to take something out here, because I'm not in a good spot. So yeah, Heat Wave is luckily gonna take this thing out. Not really sure why he didn't switch out, but I'll take it. Like, I'll take not getting the sick so there. So he sends out Thunder, his Xurkitree, so that was an interesting move, and I missed the Heat Wave, of course. So yeah, that takes me out there, so that sucks. He gets the Beast Swoof off with his special attack on there. So I'm just gonna go into Mimikyu and go for a Swords Dance. Like, there's nothing I can do here at this point apart from that, really. Like, realistically, there's just not much I can do there. So figured might as well go for a Swords Dance and get as much damage off as possible. So he goes for a Thunderbolt and lands it there, obviously. Yeah, Disguise is gone there, so but I do have my Swords Dance up, so I can inflict quite a bit of damage here. He withdraws, which is a little surprising to me, to say the least. Like, I expected him to stay in, so I do lose -1 on there from the Intimidate, so it's what it is now, I guess. Like, yeah, so even 2 of these isn't gonna take it out. I just went for a Play Rough for max damage, honestly. A crit would have been nice to have KO'd it, but I'm not that lucky so far right now. So yeah, Earth Power is going to take out Mimikyu from this range, I believe. Oh no, it didn't. It lived another hit, so surprisingly I just went for another Shadow Claw there. I kind of just didn't want to risk missing the Play Rough, I guess, at that point, so figured might as well just go there, and I go into my Mega Blastoise here because there's not much else I can do, and yeah, like, I'm just gonna go for a Scald just to either take this thing out or inflict some damage on something else and hopefully get a burn. So yeah, he goes for the Grass Knot there, and he gets a crit. So that kind of sucked because I could have possibly lived another hit from something else if it wasn't for that crit, and yeah, whatever. Crits, they're part of the game. I can't really get mad. I had quite a few of them last season, so He is just gonna clean up with Xurkitree here. Thunderbolt obviously gonna take me out, especially from that range. Plus I was physically defensive this week on it, so yeah, that was my mistake there. And I only have Uriah left here, so the Intimidate's not gonna matter because it's a special attacker, and yeah, somehow it actually outspeeds, so that just sucks. But he is going for the Gigavolt Havoc, and that's just gonna clear up the Arcanine obviously from that range at +1, so yeah, good game to Flying Bird. Yeah, I am not playing very well this season, so I really gotta step it up. Like, this is like I'm not the best player in the world, but honestly I feel like I'm embarrassing myself from this. Like, I'm just playing so bad, and yeah, so until next week guys, later.